because if they were full out in the open, in the sense of, hey, we're traveling through, we're just looking to get some supplies, she knew for certain, okay, these guys are spies, which means this city is being taken, okay? And this is, we're also seeing that, she also has this, I don't know that she fully realizes it yet either, as far as what the level of faith she has at this point. Now, she does not have faith in God as in being her God, okay? She has faith in these two men that were there. She has faith in their God. So that's why she presents it to the two men, okay? And asks that. And the men do reply. In verse 14, and the men answered her, our life for yours. If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be, when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. So, what did they say in that verse? They're saying, look, so far you have protected us. You have saved our lives. You continue to hide us and keep to yourself everything that you know and that you believe to be true. So in other words, if you keep all these secret, okay, and when we will know when we come in, we will know, because obviously if they're ready and waiting, then she reported them, so they would know. If we see that you did not, or that you kept it secret, then it will be done. So it's at this point, verse 15, she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. So that right there tells you how big the wall around Jericho was, how wide it was, okay? They actually built houses on top of the wall.
They used to have chariot races.
And
on top of the wall.
Yeah, it's just, this was an enormous wall. It wouldn't be able, I was going to say, you think about the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is really long, but it comes to the width of it, it has nothing. It's nothing in comparison to how wide and how thick, okay, the walls of Jericho would have been. Because if there are houses built on top of the wall of Jericho, okay, obviously they also have space as well besides those houses. Mm-hmm. They have space for chariot races as well. So you're thinking maybe 2 houses wide. Well, just a thought to put in your head about how. So this wall in that time was truly impenetrable when it comes to the defenses and attacking kingdoms and such. So that being said, the Israelites in themselves had no chance. But Rahab knew that it's not the Israelites doing it, it's the God they serve. So she knew it doesn't matter. And she lived on top of the wall. She knew the size of this wall. She knew the strength of the wall. Who better to know it than somebody who lives on it? Okay? And yet she knew that this is what would happen. So she let them down by a rope and to be able to escape out of the city. But then she also did not stop there, because she knew that there was a very good chance if they went straight back to the Israelite army, they would be intercepted by the king of Jericho's men. So she gives them specific instructions. So she must have, at some point in her life, she must have lived or traveled or whatever a lot outside of the walls of Jericho. reason why I say that is right in the next verse, 16. And she said to them, "Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may ye go your way." Okay? So, and when I'm reading this though, I'm not reading it in the sense of, when she said get you to the mountain, you notice it says the mountain. Okay, it's not the mountains. Go get lost for 3 days in the mountains. Okay, it's talking about a specific mountain. What would that, for them to easily hide, what would that mean? That mountain in particular was probably riddled with caves, riddled with good places to hide, where even if the soldiers went there, the chance of them finding these two men was astronomical, okay? And the men said to her, verse 17, "We will be blameless of this thine oath, which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window, which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren, and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear." And she said, "According unto your words, so be it." And she sent them away, they departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the two men returned and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua, the son of Nun, and told him all these things that befell them. And they said unto Joshua, "Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land. For even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us." So you notice that these two men, as we just read, before they part ways with Rahab, they go and let her know essentially what the terms of their act of kindness is. Okay, we already know one part, that okay, if we come in, we expect the evidence that you kept it to yourself. Okay, but with that, okay, that is, you bring all your family into your house. Okay, you bring all your family into your house. If you keep them all there, if they stay there, then if anything happens to any of them, if a single hair on their head is hurt, is touched, then their blood is on our hands. Okay? However, if they wander out, if they go out of the house for any reason, okay? Any reason at all, even if one of them maybe one of her brothers could be a soldier. So being a soldier, if he hears a fight, hears this, his responsibility, his duty would be to run out of the house and go, okay? And but it does not matter. If any of your family goes out of the house, their blood is on their head. We are not responsible for it. And also, they went on to make sure in verse 20, just in the sense of keep this secret between us. So in other words, this was also keeping the secret between her and them would also make it harder for her to have all her family over and to keep them in that house. She's not allowed to utter a word to her family as to why she is wanting them to stay in her house and not step a foot outside. So that is really, that's just an incredible thing. And sure enough, as we see, they went to this mountain and hid there for 3 days. They weren't able to be found. They returned unto Joshua, and you notice, then we see, once again, these two men, these spies, we see their faith. They go in, and when they come back, they're not like those other 10 spies who had originally been sent in. They didn't go and say, oh gosh, I don't believe it. We stayed in this house. These walls are thicker than we thought, okay? These walls, there is no way for us to get through. No, you see nothing negative. What do they say in verse 24? Truly the Lord hath delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. Okay? You notice they start right off with the Lord. They knew it was God that was in control. And this is right when we were going to be getting into Joshua, but it is already 7 o'clock. So, so on that note, next week, okay, we're going to be looking at Joshua. I really want to, it'll be easier to understand this whole account if we bounce back and forth, okay, between characters. As in, instead of looking at all of Joshua or looking at all of Rahab and then going to Joshua, it's just going to be easier to go through this one account here of Jericho. I could call it, so many people call it the Battle of Jericho, but there's no battle that happens. This account of Jericho, it's better if we just go right from, say day one of it right through to the falling of the walls. So next week we will be looking at Joshua and some other things that go on and happen that are quite amazing, okay, before even the conquest, okay, of Jericho, the things that lead up to it.
Can I just mention, you had mentioned earlier that she had told them to go to the mountain. Mm-hmm. She did not name the mountain. That mountain most likely would be the mountain of David, which is called the Engedi Mountains.
Okay.
Which is full of caves.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All right. And I've been to the Engedi Mountains, and believe me, there are caves where you can get lost for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't salt. So that's why she didn't name the mountain, because they knew what mountain she was talking about.
Okay.
The Engedi Mountains, caves.
Yep. Awesome. Let's go ahead and close in prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord, once again, we just thank you so much for your word, Lord, and everything that we can learn from it. And Lord, as we continue on in this study